Well, hello everyone, and welcome. Welcome back to another episode of Comatose Streams. Hello everyone. Welcome one, welcome all. I am very excited to be back. We had a couple days off this last week. I was out of town in Sacramento. It was a very lovely time. Went to the zoo. It was very good. Got to see some very cute animals. But we're back for a music stream this week. I won't be doing the Hades stream this week, but I will be doing the Civilization stream on Saturday. But then I think next week we're mostly back to the normal schedule. I think next week on Wednesday I won't be here. But then I think after that we're like full blown back into the schedule until I go out of town once more in the middle of August, and then that should be about it for a while here. For a while. I'm very eager to keep my streaming schedule as consistent as possible after these upcoming breaks. But I might add some little extra random streams. I keep teasing that I want to do this, but I think it might actually be happening now. I'm getting some time. I'm not going to be doing quite as much live music stuff here soon. So I'm going to get some time like during the days where I won't be practicing as much and I will be able to be streaming a little bit more. And I'm very excited about that. I am very excited about that. I also have some wonderful announcements to make. I have some beautiful announcements. Let me pull up my calendar here. So I have finally set some dates to when my music is all going to be released. Very exciting stuff. So the album we're working on this stream is called Pieces, but the album that's before that is coming out sometime this year, is called Fractals, and that album is going to be out on November 20th. That is the day. That's the day I'm aiming for. I'll let you know if anything changes, but that should be the day. And then before that, we have a couple singles that we're releasing as well. So we've got Waterfall releasing as a single the month before on October 23rd is the date I'm going for. And then World on Fire is being released about like 6 weeks or so before that. Maybe like a couple months on August 28th. Right? That's the day. Yeah, August 28th. And that one's locked in. Like, that one should definitely be happening. That one's locked in. I've got that submitted to the distributor and everything. And yeah, I'm starting to like get the other stuff ready for submission to the distributor. Which it mostly is. I just want to basically do it like at a point where World on Fire is like already being promoted and stuff. And then we've got one more just before that. So that Back to Me shader that we worked on like a while ago, I think you can find that video, that stream on YouTube still. But we worked on like a shader, on like a cool kaleidoscope shader for a song called Back to Me. And that song is finished and it's like professionally mixed and everything. That's going to be featured on the album. But my own mix, what I'm calling the demo version, is going to be released in just a couple weeks here on July 26th, so like less than 2 weeks. So get ready for that. That one's not going to be on Spotify or Apple Music or anything. It's just going to be on YouTube and SoundCloud and Bandcamp. It's the only three places you're really going to be able to find that thing. But then eventually the full song will be available on Spotify. It just won't be my mix. It'll be my producer's mix, my engineer's mix. So, which is also very, very good. They're both pretty cool in their own ways. I'm pretty excited. But yeah, I've got a concert I'm going to this Friday, so I won't be doing the Hades stream, but I will be here on Saturday. And then next week on Wednesday, I'm doing probably like my last one of my last performances for a little while here, and then I'll be able to start focusing more on streaming. Definitely like the couple weeks after that, it's going to be full normal schedule. in like the first 2 weeks of August. So looking forward to that, and the last week of July as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. So yeah, those are my announcements. We have dates all set for everything, and I'll be putting that stuff on social media as we get closer and starting to promote it a little bit and stuff. We'll see exactly what I do for promotions, but I'll probably be streaming some of the stuff that I make for promotions. Some of it. Because I want to make like really cool, kind of like what I did for Back to Me and making that shader. I want to make really cool like generative art and stuff that's all like chaos theory themed for this, which is going to be really, really fun. I'm going to be learning a lot of cool stuff with that, so I'd love to have you guys there with me and learning with me. That'll be really cool. Okay, I think that's it for the calendar. I think that's it for announcements. Let's start up on working on the only thing. So this isn't going to be on Fractals. This is going to be on Pieces, the album after Fractals, which I have no idea when this is going to be out. It's going to be a while because it's a whole separate album and we're kind of just getting started on it. So, but hopefully it's like fairly soon after. We're trying to minimize the amount of time in between releases, but yeah, we'll see how that goes because things take a while. But yeah, I really want to mix this whole album like completely on my own, and I'm learning quite a lot. I learned a little bit this last week, some more about gain staging and how I can do that easily in my DAW, which is Reason here. And there's some cool techniques that I didn't realize existed. I think what I was doing before, where I was going through and like modifying the level of like each little part of the signal here, I think that's still like the best way to do it. That's like the most detailed and intricate way of doing it. It's very like fine brush strokes, you know. But there are some ways where maybe I don't have to put quite as much attention to detail. There are some ways to get more broad brush strokes that I wasn't doing before, and part of that has to do with this input gain at the very top of the mixer. I haven't been messing with this at all, and this is something that people use in order to like kind of more automatically gain stage their stuff, which is very, very cool. I was kind of using like normalization for that purpose, but you can probably like you can automate this if you want, which might be a little bit easier than like going through and manually adjusting all this stuff. But like this is much more visual for me doing it like that down here. But with this gain, there's like a few different ways. Like you can use this gain as like the volume level before it gets to a compressor, and then you can use the compressor to kind of do some more broad stroke gain adjustments. And you really want to be like adding some gain with the compressor as well, which I haven't really been doing. So I think that's going to be pretty nice when we start to edit that and mess with that. And also I learned that you kind of want to be aiming around like -12 to -10 dB for each individual track as like the max volume level, and then you want your mix to be at -6 at like the max level at the end of the day before you start to master the mix. But I kind of knew that. My producer taught me a little bit about that, how it should kind of all of the tracks combined should result in like your mix ending up at -6 dB, but I didn't realize that each individual track should be around -12 to -10, which is really cool. And I was looking at this because that's like a really good, you know, frame of reference. And I was looking at our mix, and it looks like a lot of the stuff is like around -10 or below. The only thing that's kind of pushing that is the vocals, which kind of makes sense. The vocals, you know, they should be pushing that. And I was like kind of countercompensating because I thought there was some volume loss in the last stream, which there was for a little bit, but I think we got the volume back. I also messed with the wiring in the rack here, and that had quite a bit to do with it, why I had to change it to like a mono mix, and why I was getting like more on the left than on the right at that one point, and then when I changed it to mono, I got some volume loss. I think I fixed all that. I think the volume is back. So because I countercompensated, I think the volume's probably a little bit too high, too hot on the vocals now, but we'll go through and edit that. And then there's also the automation that I'm going to be doing, which is really going to kind of put everything on the same level, level-wise. It's going to really even everything out, which is really the point. But while still also maintaining dynamics, which is very important. You just don't want, you don't want negative 20 or 20 dB differences in volume throughout your song, but like a few dB here and there is totally fine for dynamic purposes. But anyways, that's kind of what I learned over the last week. I've been like recording some guitar stuff for my friend for him to use on his YouTube channel. And I recorded like an hour of stuff, so I didn't want to like go through and like hand adjust everything. It would have taken quite a long time for an hour long track. But yeah, that should be pretty good to go now. Because I did like some more broad stroke adjustments. I used compression, I used this gain, this input gain, I used like master compression on the master, and like I used a leveler with that. And then I still have to do some automation, and yeah, I think it's coming along nicely, and much more quick than if I were to go through and edit all of those little spikes there. But okay, for this song, since it's only like 5 minutes or so, it's not as big of a deal to like go through and modify each little spike, and you can tell it's not quite perfect yet, but it's a lot better than where it was for sure. And I don't know if I will make it perfect after what I've learned. I think there's a little bit of compression that we can add to this thing. But first thing I want to do is re-record some vocal parts. And there's only really a couple. Well, I guess the very first thing I want to do is play through the song. You guys will be able to hear that. I think the vocals are sounding really nice, but they still have a little bit of room for improvement. And then there's a couple additional takes I want to do. I think there's like one little part where I say the wrong word, and then like this little O right here I want to re-record and make that sound a little nicer. Yeah, nothing really huge. I might move some like kind of notes around. But yeah, that's about it. But let's have a listen to the song, see where it's at. I'll quit my blabbering and we can have a listen.
Like the trees, gently moving with the breeze. We can be just like the storm, forever spiral around the horn. Like the sea, let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be just like the fire, forever
Alright, there it is. In its current state, the only thing... Alright, one thing we can do real fast here is I know I want this last note on the throat singing to be ending a little bit earlier. And the way we can do that, I think we can draw a little guy there. There you go. And then we can move that little guy to match up with the vocals, the main vocals there. Cool, let's make sure that still sounds nice. Yep, I think it still sounds good. Oh, I love that, the throat singing. It's hilarious. But it sounds pretty cool. Adds a little texture to this part. When it's mixed in with everything, it sounds pretty cool. On its own, it's pretty hilarious. Okay. Well, that was easy. That was all I wanted to do there. And then I want to fix this O. I think I might do that second. There is a part where I say we're dancing through the desire, but I want to say we're fighting through the desire.
Forever dancing through desire.
And that is the part right there. So let's open this up. We'll go to comp edit. We've got our bounced track here. Let's close the mixer. Yeah, so everything's already bounced here, so that makes things nice and easy for us. And then the part is like right here. So I'll start my recording probably around here.
We can be just like the fire.
Maybe a little bit earlier. I want to like give myself time to like get over to the mic over there. And snap on with the bar. I'll turn the piano back on. I want the piano to be pretty loud so I can hear it nicely. Yeah, so that should be Forever Fighting Through Desire. Cool. I think that's good. So we can probably just record this and I'll go over there and sing Fighting to the mic. And that's really all I have to do, because like I really want to keep everything around fighting, and really just use the one fighting part. That's it. And then keep everything around it. So yeah, I'll probably sing like the whole line, but I'll just use the fighting part. So yeah. Okay, cool. So I need to turn this down and I need to turn my headphones up. I got my headphones all set up, but we'll see if they give me problems. The way I'm doing the headphones is pretty janky, so they might give me some problems. I might have to restart this a couple times, but let's see. Hopefully it goes smoothly. Hopefully. Okay, cool. Okay, that was it. That was all I wanted to do there. So let's take a look at that and see how that sounded. So we gotta normalize that. And then we gotta go back here and we'll call this fighting take 01, and then we'll copy that and we'll do fighting take 01 normalized. Okay, and then we'll grab that. Use that there. I want to turn snap off now, and then grab that. And then turn my monitors back on.
We can be just like the sea. Let our forms fill what's
need this part.
Forever and fighting.
I might want to do a couple more takes here. So let's go back to here. Snap. But yeah, that's basically it. But I want to make sure I sing fighting nicely.
Let our forms fill.
That sounds like I'm saying farts. I feel like that sounds like I'm saying farts. Let's like maybe grab a different part of this. I definitely feel like that sounds like it's farts. Snap off again.
Our forms fill. Let our forms fill. Let our forms fill.
That probably is the clearest. Oh, let's duplicate that and make that nice and loud.
Let our forms fill.
Let our forms fill.
Let our forms fill what's beneath.
Okay, I feel like that's clear enough. I feel like that's clear enough. When I first heard that just now, though, I was like, kind of sounds like farts.
Let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be just like the fire, forever and fighting.
Okay, well let's just bounce this. I don't love the way that this sounds.
Forever and fighting.
But we'll roll with it for now and then just bounce this, and then I'll have like a little clean slate to work with here. Let's get rid of that. Wondering if I should re-record the forms part, but I feel like now it's pretty clear.
We can be just like the sea. Let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be.
I don't know. Let's start from like back here and see what we can do. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's go with this. Let's try this out. Let me turn this down and this up and turn the metronome on this time. All right, cool. Let's try this. Okay, that might have been pretty good. I might have gotten a nice forms there. I don't know. We'll see. Let's edit this. So this is fighting take 2. And let's normalize that. And see how that sounds.
Let our forms fill.
Turn it up on my end.
Let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be just like the fire, forever fighting through desire.
Might be a decent fighting.
Fighting through desire.
Yeah, it might be decent. Let's see. Grab that. Boom.
Forever fighting.
have that back like that.
Forever fighting. Forever fighting through.
Sounds like I'm about to say, like, dancing. Maybe we go there.
Forever fighting through desire. Forever fighting through desire.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I like it, I like it. Maybe this can go over a little bit now.
Forever fighting through desire. Forever fighting through desire.
Okay, and then what about forms?
Let our forms fill.
How does that sound here?
Our forms fill. Let our forms fill. Our forms fill. Our forms fill.
Like that one sounds
Let
better,
our forms fill. What?
but I need to like crossfade it or something. Something needs to change about how it's mixed in there.
Let our forms fill what's beneath. Let our forms fill what's beneath.
And where was I grabbing that from originally? I think around here.
Let our forms fill.
Oh no, I think it was down more. I think it was this one.
Let our forms fill. Let our forms fill. Our forms fill. Our forms fill. Our forms fill. Let our forms fill. Our forms fill. Let our forms fill.
Let our
Forms fill.
forms fill. Is that one better? That's literally just this one.
Forms fill. Let our forms fill.
Let's try duplicating this and seeing. It looks like a different waveform, so let's try that.
Let our forms fill. Let our forms.
Ooh, I see what's going on there. Okay. We need less of a crossfade.
Our forms fill what's. Let our forms fill. Let our forms fill. Let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be just like the fire, forever fighting through desire.
Okay, I think that sounds pretty good.
Forever fight. Forever fighting through desire. Forever fighting through desire.
Okay, I think that might be it. Listen to this one more time.
We can be just like the sea. Let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be just like the fire, forever fighting through desire.
Okay, cool. I think we're good there. We're gonna bounce this stuff once we go to pitch edit. And then let's see how the pitches are all sounding. Most of them should be good, just the new parts we added that might be a little bit out.
We can be just like the sea. Let our forms fill.
Let
our forms.
So this could probably be less drift.
Let our forms fill what's the sea. Let our forms fill what's the sea. Let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be just like the fire, forever fighting.
River fighting. What is this supposed to be?
River fighting.
C sharp, C sharp, D. C sharp, C sharp, D. So this probably needs to go up, and this can probably all go down, but I mean, that looks pretty good. We might want to split this part out. Lower the drift there. Maybe lower the drift here a little bit, and then go up like that. That might be good.
Fire, forever fighting through desire. Fire, forever fighting through desire.
That sounds pretty dang good.
Forever fighting through desire. Fire, forever fighting through desire. Just like the sea, let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be just like the fire.
Okay, cool. I think that's probably good. We'll have a listen back to that. The other thing I want to change is this O. Once we go back to comp edit, we are bounced, so I can deselect that and delete these guys. Now we can work with just that O. Which is here. So there's probably other O's that I'll like more, right? Like, probably. Probably. Let's see. Try that. And then we can go, like, back up to there. Do we like that O more?
Oh,
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
oh,
Ooh, I kind of like that one.
oh, oh, oh,
I think that might be the one we have.
oh, oh, oh.
Yeah, that's the first one. I kind of like the first one. Let's duplicate that, use that, and turn it way up. That's the highest we can go.
Oh.
I mean, that might be fine.
Oh.
That might be fine. What if... Trying to think of how I could do this. I want to normalize just this one part. I could do that, but then I'd want to get rid of everything else. Let's do it like, do it like this, where I like grab this part here, and then go and edit it here. Let's just take one still, and then like everything else is silent. Is that gonna work? And I can just do that. I think that might work. Not gonna like take everything else, right? So let's try normalizing it. Yeah, that worked. Okay, cool. That worked nicely. And then this is the only track I want here. And I can delete like literally everything else. Because this is only deleting it for this guy, by the way. Okay, and I probably don't need it like that loud. But I'll be able to adjust that better if I want.
Oh.
Okay, cool. And then we can like join these up again. Might duplicate some tracks, but I think that's fine. Get rid of that silence. Okay. Yeah, maybe have like, maybe actually have the silence. That might be pretty good. Like there. And then we can probably keep it until I start singing again.
Oh.
Like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that O a lot better. That sounds nice. Didn't even need to re-record it.
We can be just like the sea. Let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be just like the fire, forever fighting through desire.
Cool, I think this has all the edits that we want then. There's one more thing, is at the very beginning, I don't like the very first we that I say.
We can be just
And I think what I want to do is actually grab it. Grab the we from over here.
we can be
Because I really like that one. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this. And then bring this all the way back to here. And then just add a little snippy snip here. And use that. It does get a little bit louder than the rest, but I can always like balance that out there.
we can be
Yeah, that sounds nice.
we can be we can be just like
I want this can.
we can be we can be
I think it matters.
we can be
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
we can be
Maybe move this a little earlier. Go like that. and then have like tiny little crossfade. Just a tiny little guy. Yeah, there you can actually hear the "k" in can now.
We can be just like the trees, gently moving with the breeze.
And this can actually all be silent.
We can be just like the trees, gently moving with the breeze.
Cool. I think the vocals are like exactly where I want them now. So now what we do is we copy this into the vocals adjusted track, so that is all in alignment. I'm actually kind of thinking of increasing the volume of vocals adjusted, but let's mess with some more effects though. I'm like very curious what's gonna happen when we like mess with the compression a little bit more and see how that sounds. So here we've got our effects. Right now I have just like a very light compression on there. It is getting picked up though. I don't know if I want it to be picked up though. I have a little bit of output gain. I think I can add a little bit of input gain and then maybe lower the threshold. Let's add like 3 dB of gain. Lower the threshold by 3 dB. Oh, actually, increase the threshold by 3 dB. So what was it at before? It was at 15, so let's go up to 12. Negative 12. Increase the ratio a little bit. Lower the attack. Not by too much. Actually, probably a little bit more. And here I'll want to automate the guitar, so the guitar is louder. And then bring it back down to where it is right now. Let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be just like the fire, forever fighting through desire. This is sounding nice though. Check our mix. We're going above negative 10 a little bit, so I think I'm going to lower this. And up with this a little bit. We'll probably want to mimic the compression as much as we can here. So there's 3 dB of gain. Like 3 dB there too. Now it's too loud, but we'll fix that in a second. what's going to sound real nice here too is if we add a bus compressor for all the vocals and combine them all into like, compress them all together a little bit, but only a little bit. You don't want to go too overboard with compression. I think what I'm doing here is safe, but you never know. I could be wrong. But I think what I'm doing here is safe. Like add a little bit of compression to the normal track, around like a 2 to 3 ratio, and then like probably around like a 2 ratio for bus compression. And I think that should be good. If you're going up to like 4, 5, 16, like all the way up to 16 is way too much, but like even 4 to 5 is probably pushing it a bit much, but kind of depends on what you're trying to do as well. But since we've already gain staged, like it doesn't need 4 to 5. It's probably like 3 is probably too much, even probably like around 2.5, which is what I think we have it at now, is like 2.3 or 2.5. So I think as long as we keep the compression really small and there's like not a whole lot of different levels of compression, then we're probably fine. But like overall, like there will end up being like quite a few levels of compression. Like you're gonna have compression on each of these tracks. You're gonna have a bus compressor, and then that's all gonna feed into like a master bus compressor where everything's being compressed together. And then there's like another level of saturation you can apply, which has a little bit of like a compressive effect. And then there's like the limiter, which can add a little bit of compression if things are like going way too high, if things are going above that -1 to 0 dB or something. So yeah, I'm learning all this stuff. There's a lot of compression in the line, but as long as we're not adding too much compression to each individual track here, we just have like our one little compressor that's doing all the work, then we're probably fine. We're probably fine in that case. But let's go to the rack for this device. We want it to be we probably want it to be over everything, like that. And then we can add a little compressor to here, and it's not going to be too much. We're not going to be like increasing the gain with it or anything, and we're going to bring it down to like around 2. And let's see how that sounds. We want to test out how this sounds and use our ears for everything that we do.
We can be just like the trees, gently moving with the breeze. We can be just like the storm, forever spiral around the warmth.
And how it's only triggering every now and then. That's kind of what we want to see. I think that's sounding really nice now. Let's see how it sounds with the throat singing here. We could probably make it quite a bit louder with this master too. I'm gonna keep it down around that -10 for now. Watching this level. I want to hear that throat singing a little bit more. Let's rewind more. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Love that. Okay. And next is that guitar. I really want to bring that guitar up during these more instrumental parts. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's see what we've got on our guitar. It would be the electric guitar that we automate here. And just like bring it up during those instrumental parts where we really want this guitar to shine. It's doing some cool stuff, so we want that to shine through the mix, you know? So we do have an amp here. We could use that. Let's see if it's like peaking at all. If we go up a few dB. Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's pretty safe to do this. Okay, cool. So we're gonna bring that up by like several dB during these parts. So like this one. So let's change the color of this. And then call it electric guitar. Rhythm gain automation. I know it's a mouthful, but nice and specific. We know what it is. I should probably like, you know, like shorten the names of things, but I feel like it's nice and descriptive. You know what it is. We can probably bring that down for now and then bring this up and this up. Let's see. We do want it to start right around there. And we want it to go from like 0 up to probably not 12, probably like maybe 6. Let's see. I mean, that's gonna be a pretty big change. Let's see how it sounds. Yeah, that might be a bit much. And I just realized this guitar has no reverb on it. What are we doing? We gotta get reverb on this thing. We gotta. The acoustic has reverb. Yeah, we gotta get reverb on the electric. That's probably gonna bring the whole volume up as well. Because there's like usually a little bit of a volume decrease if we add reverb. Okay, cool. And then what we can probably do is like copy that over here, but then like swap these. So like bring this back down to 0, and then delete that, and then do something like this.
We can be just like the sea.
Cool, that sounds nice. Might be able to extend this out like a little bit more. Like that. Keep that going up to there.
We can be just like the sea. We can be just like the sea.
Maybe there is fine. Yeah, that's probably good. Cool, let's bring that back. That's sounding good. I really want to add reverb to this thing now. Now that I know it doesn't have reverb, we need some reverb. Wonder why I chose to do that. I was probably liking like the natural sound of it, but I feel like it needs like at least a little bit of reverb. That's at what right now? -5. Let's go. -2. Right around there. Let's solo it. Just a little bit, I think.
We can be just like the sea. Let our
Cool, just messing with the levels a little bit. And then there's one more of these that I want to add. At least one more. Probably not there. I think that sounds pretty good as is, but definitely like towards the end here. Okay, cool. So I think I want it to go to drop a little bit when I say the only thing, kind of like we're ducking it. A little bit like that. And then come back up when it's done. These are at 4.1. Yeah, let's do like 2.0 for both. Cool. And what we want to do is like really extend this out actually. Like all the way over there. Have like another one of these. Like right around there. And then move this over a little bit. Let's see, I want to move this probably towards the end. And have another one of these, but maybe even longer. Yeah, and in fact, we could probably just delete that and have it come down like there. Since I am singing that whole time, pretty much. Cool. Yeah, that'll be fine for now. What I might go do is like go through these recordings and like clean up the endings and like the spaces in between and stuff. Like that in the electric guitar. We probably don't want like that little that. We probably don't want that there. And then we can like fade it out there. Yeah, that's probably good. And then this guy we can move to be a little earlier. Cool. Okay, I like that.
The only thing.
And we need to do the same thing with the vocals. Bring them into like right there. And same with the electric or the acoustic guitar. Probably have that kind of follow the same fade out. $13.21. Let's try that. 13. Good, good, good. Make these match up really nicely. What about the cajon? We probably want the same there. It actually we probably want that to end even earlier.
The only thing. The only thing.
And then same with the rough drums. Good. I can probably snap this like that. Same with that. Alright, this is probably really nice and clean now. What about the beginning? Do the same thing with here. Kind of mirror that. Boom. That's already fading in nicely. We can definitely do that with the vocals.
We can be just like the tree. We can be.
Okay, that's probably good. Probably very nice and clean now. That is what we want. The acoustic guitar starts like right around there, so probably want the song to start like right here. And one thing I really want to do is I want the kick drum on the drums to be standing out a little bit more. I think that's going to be nice. Let's go to the software drums. Let's EQ it a little bit so it has a little bit more treble. Okay, and I think we EQ the toms, give them a little bit more treble. And a little bit more volume overall.
We can be just like the sea, let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be
Maybe not that much though. I think we need a little bit of reverb on the drums. Just a little bit. Hello, Trick Munch. Welcome in. How's it going? Doing some mixing right now. I was just focusing on the drums. I wanted the kick drum to be a bit more powerful, but I think it's quite a bit more powerful now. I think that's sounding good. I think what we should do is probably start on the bass guitar. And I have no idea what I want to do with the bass guitar. But we've edited our vocals a whole bunch this stream, and it's sounding really, really nice. I'm really excited. I've learned a little bit more about gain staging this last week, and I've been able to apply a little bit of that with just how I'm doing the compression here. And I think it's sounding really nice. And there's plenty of like headroom to bring the vocals up more if we want, or to bring whatever we want up more. Let's see. How is the cajon sounding? I'm kind of thinking about bringing the cajon up a little bit. Very gentle.
Gently moving with the breeze. We can be just like the storm, forever spiral around the
But also we kind of want gentle. Oh yeah, that's quite a big difference there.
We can be just like the sea. Let our forms fill what's beneath. We can be just like the fire, forever fighting through desire.
Oh, there we go. That's looking more like a curve I want on the cajon. Yeah, I might want to bring that kick drum back down a little bit. Okay, I have a fun little idea. So during that little break, I want that snare to be a little bit more accented. But I like the snare, like, in every other case. It's just really this one instance right in here. Oh, I smell like pizza or something for some reason. I don't know why I smell pizza. That snare right there. I want that thing to be louder. So I think I'm going to duplicate this and have like software, drums, snare throw. I don't know what to call this, but we'll call it that for now. And I literally just want to delete everything else besides the snare. So a good way to do that is select the snare and then select everything else while holding shift. And then now, yeah, everything else is selected except for the snare, and we can delete all of that. And then we just have our snare. We can bring these in. And just quite literally have it be the snare. Oh, I want that other snare hit though too. Let's grab both snare hits. Like that. And then I think we can delete everything. Honestly, the snare could probably come up a little bit normally. Let's take a look. It's already at like 101. Let's just bring it up a little bit. Oh, you know what it needs though is actually it needs some EQ. So let's bring this stuff up. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice. Okay. Cool, and then this snare throw, let's add the EQ we just did to this. I call it a throw because I'm probably gonna add a whole bunch of reverb on this guy and then bring the volume of this whole thing up a lot. Yeah, like that. And maybe even change like the kind of reverb we're using. Airy Mary. Try that. Ooh, no, I don't like that. Big Blue. Well, that's pretty cool. Like, make it super, super wet. Okay, let's see how that sounds. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds pretty neat. We can also disable the EQ there. Okay, cool. Pretty stoked about that. I think we should start with some bass guitar now. It's gonna be kind of awkward fitting this in with our colors. I kind of forgot to leave room for the bass, I think. But let's go and select our bass. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. What do I want? I want, Reason sounds. Reason electric bass. Preset basses. Yeah, maybe like a finger bass. Fender Jazz. I don't know if I've ever used the Fender Jazz. Let's see how this sounds. And I want to blow my drums. There's a lot of drum tracks. Let's try this guy. Make that nice and big. Let's bring our keyboard out and go to the rack here. And we actually want to make a new little rack for just the bass. I actually really like how that sounds already. And I've never used the jazz one before, I don't think, so I think I'm going to go with this for now, at least. Let's rename this bass guitar. Yeah, I really like how it sounds. I have no idea what I want to do for the bass with this song. Also, we should figure out our colors. Yeah, this probably needs to be this like olive color, and then the guitars might even be able to make them like blue. I don't know what other instruments I'd want, so let's go with sky blue for now and like kind of complete the rainbow here. I don't know what other instruments I'm gonna want in this song. Something like that. Like, probably pretty simple to start, you know? And it can come in, like, with the drums. Like, right here. Needs to be lower than that, though. But how low? Probably that. Turn snap on and just make it like that, and that's way too much velocity. Do like that much. And then we can do like 16th notes. And we can snap for these. And we'll probably want to do something like this. Okay, let's just do super simple to start and see how we would want to improve it. Maybe like a little pluck when the snare is hit. An interesting little... What is that? It's like a little... Is it only on that note? That's weird. But I like having the little hit there, I think, right when their snare hits. And then let's just like repeat that several times to see how it sounds with like the voice and everything. Gosh, that is a weird sound. I wonder what that is. It's there. And there. Let's try a different one. Dude, that's so weird. I do not like that. The little... You can hear it there too, it's just a little less. Was that only the Fender Jazz? I think it is. It makes me not want to use that instrument. This sounds nice, and it's got quite a nice little like treble, like plucking sound to it.
Be just like the storm, forever
Yeah, let's go with this one.
spiral around the
Okay, now let's do a little bit of fanciness.
we can be we can be just like the trees, gently moving with the breeze. We can be just like the storm, forever spiral around the
Okay, cool. Nice little start here. I feel like it might be a little bit too loud. Let's see where it's at in the mix here. Oh yeah, it's pretty loud compared to everything else.
We can be just like the trees, gently moving with the breeze. We can be just like the storm, forever spiral around the
And I think right around here I can start to go a little bit crazier with it. Do 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 do, like something like that. I need to turn it up for now.
around the
Dun dun. Going into D there. So like an F sharp and an A might sound fine at the end. And then here we're going into A. And we're ending on B.
Spiral around the horn.
Okay, and then we can kind of repeat that, but I'm gonna want to make some adjustments. Like, I don't know if I want this a second time. And we can go down here. And maybe a C sharp there would be nice. Okay, cool. And then we can do something kind of cool here. Where we kind of keep hitting that 16th note there. Like this. And then another one there. Maybe make that A and then go down into F sharp. I know this is an F sharp chord coming in to the chorus here. Yeah, that sounds nice. Duo. Cool. I'm liking this so far. We're probably gonna focus like solely on the bass next stream, but we're getting a good start here on this stream. Alright, something simple to start. We can just do that. And the next note is, I think, A. It's like A suspended or something. And then like a D suspended. And then B minor. And that's the chorus. Cool, so we can repeat that a few times and it'll probably be about done with the stream for the night. We've done everything we want to do for the night plus more. I'm really excited to listen to how the mix is sounding on other devices and stuff. But yeah, we can just repeat this for now. We can spice it up a little bit later in the next stream. cool. I have some ideas. I might want to like start doing some of these ideas so I remember for next time. Like, we definitely should have like 2 bass hits here to match the drums. And then we can have like 1 here. And then we can like keep going up into C sharp. Something like this. Yeah, something like that. I might edit that next stream, and then of course, like, we want these previous measures to be doing something similar, or like maybe kind of building into that. But yeah, cool. That's sounding good so far. I'm gonna mute this for now, and we'll keep working on it next time. But I am gonna like export this and like have a listen, see how the volumes are all, how the levels are sounding. I might want to bring the vocals up a bit. We did talk about bringing them down a bit at the start of the stream though, so I might leave them where they're at. But yeah, cool. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And even if you didn't join, thank you so much for existing. Your existence is very much appreciated, guys. Thank you. Have a very good one, everyone. I will not be here Friday, but I will be here Saturday. I don't think I put in the Discord. I don't think I updated the calendar in the Discord for like the last weekend that I missed. So I will remember to do it for this one. Cool. See you guys on Saturday. And no music stream next week, but we will get onto a good consistent schedule the week after. So have a very good one, everyone, and see you Saturday. Goodbye.